Good evening, children. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. All right, children. So today we're just going to understand some questions and answers. You will be taking screenshots and completing them after the class. All right. So the first question for today is 3 2 by 3 a term of the arithmetic progression? 5 by 6, 1, 1, 1 by 6, and so on. So the question is it a term of the AP? Will this number 3 2 by 3 happen in this sequence? The sequence is 5 by 6, 1, 1, 1 by 6, and so on. Will this 3 2 by 3 happen in this arithmetic progression? So that means you don't know if an is equal to 3 2 by 3. You don't know. You don't know. You're just assuming. Okay, let us suppose that some nth term is 3 2 by 3. Okay, we'll just assume that some nth term, 10th term, 20th term, 25th term, we don't know. So let some nth term of the AP be 3 2 by 3. And we'll work this. That is, an means a plus n minus 1 into d is equal to 3 2 by 3. And we know the values of a and d. You know the first term, you know the common difference. Okay, so you can find n. A, n, and d, you know the value of a and d. So you can work this equation and find the value of n. Now, if n is negative or n is a fraction, see n represents a particular term of the AP. See, n can be like 25. If n is 25, the 25th term is 3 2 by 3. If n is 14, the 14th term is 3 2 by 3. If n is 7, the 7th term is 3 2 by 3. So what are the admissible values for n? N can be any natural number. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, anything like this. It cannot be negative. It cannot be a fraction. So you work and see here, you get n is equal to 18. So yes, 3 2 by 3 is the 18th term of the AP. So when do you say no? When do you say no? If it's negative or it's a fraction, if it's negative, say minus 8. You cannot say that 3 2 by 3 is the minus 8th term of the AP. No. Or if it's a fraction. Okay, if it's a fraction, some 5 by 11. You cannot say that that number is 5 by 11th term of the AP. No. So in such cases, we say no, it is not a term of the AP. So if it's admissible, if the value of n, so here we are getting 18. So that means the 18th term of the arithmetic progression is 3 2 by 3. Is it understood, children? So we start like this. An, which term? Sorry, is 3 2 by 3 a term of the AP? Okay, so let's assume that an is 3 2 by 3. Some nth term is 3 2 by 3. So a plus n minus 1 into d is equal to mixed fraction 11 by 3. Substitute the value of a and d and solve. Got it, children?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. Take a picture. So always transpose this one. First transpose 5 by 6. Okay, so you get whatever, see here. And then supposing you take this to the other, supposing you want to take this to the other side, it will go for division later. First, you must always transpose this one. You cannot get 1 by 6 to the other side. You must first transpose 5 by 6. This A. And then if you want to take this to the other side, you can do it. All right. So here, children, if in an AP, the nth term is 6n minus 7, find Sn. Okay, the nth term. So using this, an is equal to 6n minus 7. Listen carefully. An is equal to 6n minus 7. Now the thing is, if you want to find Sn, you need the values of a and d. See, you need the values of a, n, and d. To work any question from AP, you need these three values, a, n, and d. But here they want you to find only Sn. So why you need the value of n? You want to find Sn, right? So n is n only. N is n only. You don't want to find S12. You want to find Sn. So n is n. If you want to find S12, then n is 12. You want to find Sn. So n is n. So you're not worried about the value of n. Then you want the values of a and d. But we don't have the values of a and d. We don't have the values of a and d. To find Sn, we need the values of a, and we don't want d. N is n only, d. So you need to find the value of a and d, and then only you can find Sn. So how to find the value of a and the value of d? So take up an. An is equal to 6n minus 7. Let's find a1. That is the first term. 6 into 1 minus 7. Okay, so that is 6 minus 7, which is minus 1. Find a2. 6 into 2. See, for n, you're using 2. For n, you're using 2. A2. N is 2. So wherever there is n, use 2. Wherever there is n, use 2. See here, an, a2. That means n is 2. So wherever there is n, use 2. 6n, 6 into 2, minus 7. 12 minus 7, 5. This is enough. This is enough. What is the common difference? A2 minus A1. Second term minus the first term is the common difference. So that is equal to 5 minus 1. So 6 is the common difference. Done. So now what is Sn? Sn is equal to, you can use anything. You can use n by 2 of the first term plus the last term. Or you can use n by 2 of 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Anything you can use. Okay, so 2a plus n minus 1 into d. I have worked both for you. So n is n only. So n by 2 of 2a. What is 2a? 2 into minus 1. So minus 2 plus n minus 1 into d. What is d? 6. That's all. Work this, you will get Sn. Work this, you will get Sn. So what is important? To find Sn, you need the values of a and d. And how to get the values of a and d? Use an and find a1 and a2. That's enough. A1 is only the first term. So you got a. And why did you find a2? Because to find the common difference. Why did you find a2? Why did you not find a3? Because a2 minus a1 is a common difference. So we find a2. We don't have to find a3. Understood, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. You don't have to find a3. You don't have to find this. You can see method 2. I've worked it in both the ways. I told you. You can also use this formula. You can also see the second one here. You can also use this formula, children. Sn is equal to n by 2 of the first term plus the last term. So here you need only the first term. You don't even need the common difference. If you're using this formula, you don't even need the common difference. So Sn is equal to n by 2. N is n only by 2 of the first term. So we first found the first term here. Okay, first term minus 1. Plus an is given to us 6n minus 7. An is given here 6n minus 7. Use that only. You get the same answer. You can see that. So depending on which formula you're using, you'll have to find the values. If you're using this formula, Sn is equal to n by 2 of 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Then you need the values of a and d. That's why we found a, and to find d, we found a2, and then we found d. If you're using this formula, this one, Sn is equal to n by 2 of the first term plus the last term, you need only the first term. So the first term is minus 1. We didn't find a2 because we don't want the common difference. So how do you substitute an? An is this one here, 6n minus 7. 6n minus 7. And we have understood that Sn is quadratic in n. You can see here, it's quadratic. 3n square minus 4n. It's quadratic. Very important. Understood, children?
Yes.
Yeah, take a screenshot. So how will you do this, children? Here you have to find S15. You have to find S15. S15. So that means N is 15. What about A and D? We have to find. We know AN. We know AN. So you can find A1, A2 and find A and D. Correct? And then find S15. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me tell you slowly. Now we have to find S15. We know that we need the values of A, N and D. N is 15. We have to find A and we have to find D. We know AN. Using this, we can find A1 and A2. A1 is only A. And to find the D, it's A2 minus A1. So you'll get D. Substitute in the formula. Take a picture, children. Yeah, so you can see method 1. See, method 1 and method 2 is for the two different formulae we have. For the two different formulae we have. So you can see here I have used n by 2 of the first term plus the last term. Here n by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So accordingly, you will have to find. Now, supposing, listen very carefully, children. If you're using this formula, n by 2 of the first term plus the last term, what do you need? You need n. N is 15. Listen carefully. You will have to find S15. So n is 15 already. So you know n is 15. Okay, then according to this formula, what else you need? N is 15. You need the first term. Okay, we have an. So from that you can find a1. So you can find the first term. Okay, this also we got. Then we need to find an. What is an here? A15, because you have to find S15. For S15, an is A15. So you find S15 means you're finding the sum of the first 15 terms. So when you're finding the sum of the first 15 terms, the 15th term is the last term or the nth term. The 15th term is the nth term. So for S15, you'll have to find A15. So you'll have to find A15. See here, you have AN with you. So you can find A15. You don't need to find the common difference here. You don't need to find the common difference. Find A1, the first term, and A15, the nth term, and substitute them in the formula. So you can see here A1 we found, N is A15 we found here, N is 15. So substitute and you can find S15. If you're using this formula, then you need the values of A and D. N is 15, N is 15, A and D. So this is A. For finding D, you need to find A2 and subtract like this. Is it easy to understand, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, class, use the emoji. Raise your hand. Ramanathan, Tarun Murali, Kanishka, Harini, Sneha, Rajarajeshwari, Hiteshan, Netra, I hope she's there. Kanishka, you didn't join us in the last class, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
I had some homeworks.
Do you find time to watch the recordings?
I actually know this chapter.
Sorry, Kanishka?
They taught this chapter in school, ma'am.
So you're able to understand, is it? Even if you missed the
Yes,
session?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Yes, children. Is it fine? I took a screenshot.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'll let you. Yeah. Which is the first negative term of the arithmetic progression? 229, 223, 217, and so on. Which is the first negative term? So why do we, how is it possible to get a negative term here? Because it's a decreasing arithmetic progression. You can see here 229, then it 223, 217. So the numbers, the values are going on reducing. So somewhere they'll become negative, and from there on they'll be negative only. Like supposing the AP is this, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. From here, it will only be negative, -2, -4, -6, -8, -10. From here, it will be negative. So this is the first negative term. Supposing we have the AP like this, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 0, -10, -20, -30, -40, and so on. So this is the first negative term. This is the first negative term. That is the question. The question is, which is the first negative term of the arithmetic progression? Because the values you can see are going on reducing. And okay, the values are reducing. 229, 223, 217. So somewhere they'll become negative, and from there on the values will only be negative. So which is the first negative term? Which is the first negative term? All right. So you're trying to find negative, meaning the value is less than 0. When we say negative, that means the value is less than 0. The first negative term, that means the value is less than 0, because if it's negative, it's less than 0. So you're trying to find that term whose value is less than 0. Some nth term whose value is less than 0. So a plus n minus 1 into d less than 0. You're trying to find that value. You just assume you're just trying to find some term. Some term is an. Some term, see, if you say a10, it's a 10th term. If you don't know which term, an. So this term should be less than 0, should be negative. The value of the term should be negative. So an is less than 0. When you work this, you will be able to find the value of n. So here n can be a fraction also. Here n can be a fraction also. I'll tell you why. Okay. So now see here, how do we work this? An is less than 0. That's the condition. That's the condition. An is less than 0 is the condition. All of you understand the condition? All right. So now an is less than 0, meaning a plus n minus 1 into d is less than 0. Substitute the values. A is 229, n minus 1 into d. D is, what is d? 223 minus 229, which is minus 6. Minus 6 is less than 0. So multiply minus 6 with every term inside the bracket. See, it's n minus 1 into d. So minus 6 into n, minus 6n. Minus 6 into minus 1, plus 6. All right. So multiply, it's not minus 6 and it'll go as plus 6 to the other side. No, it's n minus 1 into d. N minus 1 into minus 6. It's not minus 6. Don't open the bracket n minus 1 minus 6. No, it's into minus 6. N minus 1 into d. So minus 6 into n, minus 6n, minus 6 into minus 1 plus 6 is less than 0. So now when you simplify these two, 229 plus 6, 235, minus 6n is less than 0. Now transpose. Transposing I've done in both the ways. I'll teach you. Now when you, meaning when you transpose 235, how do you work? When you transpose 6n, how do you work? So I've done both. That's what is here, alternate calculation. So let's work this one first, because you're working with an inequality, not an equality. You're working with an inequality. See, you're less than. You're working with an inequality, less than, greater than. They're not equalities. When you say A is greater than B, it's an inequality. The two things are not equal. What you have on both the sides are not equal. One is greater than the other, or one is less than the other. But when you say A is equal to B, it's an equality. Both the sides are equal. LHS is equal to the RHS. So you're working with an inequality. Okay, when you transpose this, Okay, so 235 is less than 6n. Minus 6n becomes plus 6n. All right. So that is this one. Now the 6 will come for, it's like you're dividing both the sides by 6. You're dividing both the sides by 6. Dividing both the sides by 6. What happens? 6 and 6 gets cancelled. So 235 by 6 is less than n. Understand this? You're dividing both the sides by 6. 6 gets cancelled. So 235 by 6 is less than n. Now put this as a mixed fraction. You will get 39 1 by 6 is less than n. So now children, listen to this carefully. If I say 6 is less than 10. Now I want to write 10 here and 6 here. I'll reverse the inequality. I should write 10 is greater than 6. But in an equality, if you have b is equal to 5, sorry, if you have 5 is equal to b, you will write b is equal to 5. In an equality, this is fine. If you get the answer as 5 is equal to b, that means b is equal to 5. But in an inequality, if now take this example, as I just told you, 6 is less than 10. You want to write 10 here and 6 here. You cannot write 10 is less than 6. It's wrong. 10 is less than 6 is wrong. So when you change the positions, if this is true, if this is true, yeah, this is true. 6 is less than 10 is true. So if you write 10 here and 6 here, you must reverse the inequality. If you change the positions, you must reverse the inequality. So see here, the 39 1 by 6 is less than n. Now you want to write n here and 39 1 by 6 here. So reverse the inequality. So this less than will become greater than. So n is greater than 39 1 by 6. So see, n is not equal to 39 1 by 6. N is greater than 39 1 by 6. Now you cannot say n is a fraction. N can be a fraction here because you're not getting n is equal to 39 1 by 6. If you're getting this, not possible. You're getting n should be more than 39 1 by 6. And what is that number? Immediately greater than 39 1 by 6, 40. 40. So therefore, because the number which is just greater than 39 1 by 6, the immediate natural number is 40. N should be greater than 39. So 40 immediately. See, 41, 42, 43, they are also greater than 39. They'll also be negative terms. But the immediate one is 40. The 40th term is the first negative term. From there on, all the terms are negative. After the 40th term, all the terms are negative. The first negative term is the 40th term. Therefore, A40 is the first negative term of the AP. Okay, this is if you transpose 6n. All right. Now, supposing you have minus 6n on the same side and you transpose 235. Okay, you transpose 235. So then you have minus 6n is less than minus 235. Okay, when you cancel the minus on both the sides, take an example. Now, minus 4 is greater than minus 5. Is this correct, children? Minus 4 is greater than minus 5. Is it correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
minus 4
ma'am.
is greater than 5. Yeah, this is true. Now, supposing I cancel the minus on both the sides. 4 is greater than 5. Is this true?
No. No, ma'am.
No. So that means in an inequality, when you cancel the minus signs on both the sides, the inequality is reversed. In an inequality, when you cancel the minus signs on both the sides, the inequality is reversed. So if you cancel the minus signs on both the sides, this minus and minus one, okay, so minus 4 is greater than minus 5. When you cancel the minus sign, if you write 4 and 5, 4 is less than 5. The inequality is reversed. 4 is less than 5. This is true. So like when you cancel the minus sign, you must reverse the inequality. Similarly here, if you cancel minus on both the sides, reverse the inequality. 6n is greater than 235. 6n is because you're cancelling the minus on both the sides, this becomes greater than. 6n is greater than 235. N is greater than 235. This is dividing by 6 on both the sides. Dividing by 6 on both the sides. Dividing by 6 on both sides. So 6 and 6 cancels. So n is greater than 235 by 6. N is greater than 235 by 6. So mixed fraction 39 1 by 6. 39 1 by 6. Therefore, A40 is the first negative term of the AP. Is the first negative term of the AP. Understood, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, children. Please take a screenshot. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Find the middle terms of the arithmetic progression. Find the middle terms. All right. So middle terms of the AP. Now look at these numbers. Now supposing I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there are 5 numbers here. This is an AP and there are 5 numbers. So when the number of terms is odd, there'll be only one term in the middle. When the number of terms is odd, there'll be only one term in the middle. But if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if you have even number of terms, then there'll be 2 terms in the middle. There'll be 2 terms in the middle. So it depends. If the number of terms in the AP is odd, there'll be only one middle term. If the number of terms in the AP is even, not the value, not like this even 2, 4, 6, 8, not like this. If the count of the terms, the AP has 50 terms even. The AP has 45 terms odd. The AP has 100 terms even. The AP has 101 terms odd, like that. So if the AP has 101 terms, odd number of terms, there'll be only one middle term. There'll be only one term in the middle. If the AP has even number of terms, then there'll be 2 middle terms. There'll be 2 middle terms. You can try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so cancel out 3 numbers from the beginning, 3 numbers from behind. See here, 2 middle terms. 2 middle terms. But if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, cancel out 3 from behind, 3 from the first, only one middle term. Okay, so now you understand that if there are 7 terms, the 4th term is the middle term. So that means if there are 7 terms, 7 plus 1 by 2, 8 by 2, the 4th term is the middle term. If there are 7 terms, in the AP, the 4th term is the middle term. How using 7, how will you get 4? Add 1 to 7. 7 plus 1, 8. 8 by 2, 4. So supposing there are 101 terms in the AP, 101 plus 1, 102 by 2, 51. The 51st term is the middlemost term of the AP. If there are 101 terms, odd number of terms, add 1 to that, 101 plus 1, 101 terms are there. Add 1 to that, 102, divide by 2, 51. The 51st term is the middlemost term of that AP. See here, when there are 7 terms, the 4th term is the middle term. Using 7, how will you get 4? So 7 plus 1, 8 by 2. 8 by 2 is 4th term. So when there are odd number of terms, like this, if there are even number of terms, if there are 8 terms, how will you find the 4th term and the 5th term are the middlemost terms? So using 8, how will you get 4 and 5? Using 8. See, when there are 8 terms, the 4th term and the 5th term are the middlemost terms. So using 8, how will you get 4 and 5? 8 by 2 plus 1. 8 by 2 is 4. And 4 plus 1 is 5. So 8 by 2 plus 1. 8 by 2 is 4. Using 8, how will you get 4 and 5? 8 by 2 is 4. How do you get 5? 4 plus 1 is 5. That means 8. How did you get 4? 8 by 2. Now how do you get 5? 8 by 2 plus 1. 8 by 2 plus 1. In other words, when the, so now, putting this like a formula, in other words, when there are odd number of terms, n plus 1 by 2 will be the middlemost term. Because when there are odd number of terms, there'll be only one term in the middle. N plus 1 by 2 is the middlemost term. If there are even number of terms, n by 2 and n by 2 plus 1 will be the middlemost terms. I'm just converting this into a formula, n by 2 and n by 2 plus 1. And this is n plus 1 by 2. If suppose you want to write down something from this, take a screenshot. So the formula to find the middle terms, okay, this you can make a note, middle term or terms, middle term or terms. There'll not be 3 terms in the middle, only 1 or 2. You can circle the 3 terms in the middle. You can find the middlemost 3 terms. Okay, so once you find the middle term, now supposing the 20th term is the middlemost term, supposing the 20th term is the middlemost term. So that means the 3 terms will be 19th term and the 21st term. Just take one to the left and right. If supposing you want to find the 3 middle terms, the 3 middle terms. So you'll find the middlemost term. Supposing 20th term is the middlemost term. Then take the 19th term and the 21st term. These will be the 3 terms in the middle. Is it fine, children?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, children. Okay, so to find the middlemost term or terms, you need to know how many terms are there in the AP. You need to know if there are 50 terms, 51 terms, 52 terms. Only then you can find the middle term or the you can find the middle term or the 2 terms in the middle. All right. So to find one term or the 2 terms which are in the middle, we need to know how many terms are there in the AP. Because we need to know if the AP has odd number of terms or even number of terms. If it has odd number of terms, there'll be only one middlemost term. If the AP has even number of terms, then there'll be 2 terms in the middle. So go to minus 176. As I told you in the last class, go up to minus 176 and ask minus 176 its position. Because who are in the queue? 20 is standing first in the queue, then 16 is standing behind 20, 12 behind that, and so on like this. minus 176 is the last term in the queue. In this queue, minus 176 is the last term. So you should go to this number minus 176 and ask its position. So how will you work that? AN is equal to minus 176. You have to go up to minus 176 and ask minus 176 its position. So supposing it says that I'm in the 52nd position, that means there are 52 terms in the AP. We have understood this in the last class. That's all. So use AN is equal to minus. Why should we do this? Because we should find the number of terms the AP has. So find AN, work this one, AN is equal to minus 176 and find N. And accordingly find the one term in the middle or two terms in the middle. Yes, children. Take a screenshot. So you have to work this and you get N is 50. It has if there are 50 terms in the AP. So that means there'll be two terms in the middle because the AP has even number of terms. So there are two terms in the middle and the middle terms are N by 2th term and N by 2 plus 1th term. Okay, so that means 50 by 2, N is 50. So 50 by 2 and 50 by 2 plus 1. So 25 and the 26th term. These are the two middle terms. Therefore, the two middle terms of this AP are A25 and A26. And then find A25 and A26. You know how to find them. Find A25 and A26. Take a screenshot, children. Is it clear, children? Any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, any questions, children?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So again, similar question. Find the middle term of the AP. Find the middle term. So here it was find the middle terms of the AP. So we had two terms in the middle. Here it is find the middle term of the AP. So anyways, you'll have to go to minus 47 and check the position of minus 47. Okay, so minus 46. So working is, very crucial here. Shouldn't go wrong. See this minus 5 by 2, you shouldn't take it to the other side as plus 5 by 2. It's n minus 1 into d. So n minus 1 into minus 5 by 2. See here, n minus 1 into minus 5 by 2. You must transpose as 18. Minus 47 minus 18 minus 65. Then if you want, you can multiply minus 5 by 2 with n minus 1. Otherwise, you can take it to the other side. Like when you have AB is equal to C, A is equal to C by B. B can come down for division to the other side. So this minus 5 by 2 will go to the other side for division. So divided by, you know that, right? It's so difficult to explain that. So we'll go to the other side. If you have A into 3 by 4 is equal to 5. So A is equal to 5. This 3 by 4 will become 4 by 3 on the other side into 4 by 3. Reciprocal on the other side. Yeah, you know that. Okay, so this minus 5 by 2 will become minus 2 by 5. Because it's in multiplication here. It's not minus 5 by 2. It will not go as plus 5 by 2. It's in multiplication. So we'll go for division. That means reciprocal. So into minus 2 by 5. Be careful there. 27 terms. So the middle term is 27 plus 1, 28 by 2, 14th term. So A14 is the middle term. And then find A14. Find A14, A plus 13D. Take a picture, children. Done, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How many 4-digit numbers are divisible by 17? How many? You don't have to find the sum or something. How many numbers? How many 4-digit numbers are divisible by 17? So very simple again, because see, it's important to understand the question. How many? So 10, 20, 30, 50 numbers. Are there 50 4-digit numbers divisible by 17? So how many is the question? 4-digit numbers are divisible by 17. So you will have to first generate the AP. You will have to first generate the AP of all 4-digit numbers that are divisible by 17. It doesn't start from 17. It's not 17, 34. No, you have to generate the AP of, or you'll have to write all the 4-digit multiples of 17. You have to write all the 4-digit multiples of 17. That will be an AP, because the difference will be 17, multiples of 17, no? So the numbers will form an arithmetic progression because the common difference will be 17. So how many? So you should go to that last number in the AP. You should go to that last number in the sequence and find its position. So there'll be so many 4-digit numbers divisible by 17. So step 1 is to generate the sequence. Step 1 is to generate the sequence of all 4-digit multiples of 17. Now, the sequence of all 4-digit multiples of 17 will form an arithmetic progression because the difference between any term and its preceding term will be 17. Common difference is 17. So it's an AP. Now, how many terms are there? Go to the last number. AN is equal to that number. When you work, you'll find the value of N. Whatever is N represents the number of 4-digit numbers divisible by 17. So see here. See here. So this is the first 4-digit number divisible by 17. We'll see how to find that number. We'll see that. So this is the first 4-digit number divisible by 17. This is the last 4-digit number divisible by 17. Okay, so this is the AP of all 4-digit numbers divisible by 17. Then AN is equal to 9996. The last one, AN is equal to this. When you work that, you get 530. So there are 530 4-digit natural numbers divisible by 17. That's all. It's a simple thing. AN is equal to this. Always the last number will tell you how many terms are there in the AP. The last number will always tell you the number of terms the AP has. So when you work AN is equal to this, you will get N. And so there are 530 4-digit natural numbers divisible by 17. Now how to generate the first number and the last number? So simply divide. Which is the smallest 4-digit number? Which is the small, because we are talking about 4-digit numbers here. We are talking about 4-digit numbers. 1000 is the smallest 4-digit number. 9999 is the largest 4-digit number. Since we are talking about 4-digit numbers, take up the first, that is the smallest 4-digit number and the largest 4-digit number. Divide by 17. Divide by 17. No, I can't divide. So tell me, I think this is easy for me. 17 5s are 85. Then 15 is the remainder. 0 comes down. Then after this, please help me know. How many times? 17 8s are? Yeah, children, fast. How many times?
136. 17.
8 times or 9 times?
8.
8 times. 8 times. 17 8 times. So 8 times 56, 5, 13, 136. Okay, very good. So 17 8s are 136 and 14 is the remainder. So we get 1758 times. Now 1758 times. All right. Now 1758 times will be, or you can do one thing. I'll tell you two ways. One way is 17 into 50. Just do 17 into 59. Just do 17 into 59. That's one way. Because if you do 17 into 58, you'll get a 3-digit number. I think I have a calculator beside me. If you do multiply these two numbers, children, see, multiply these two. If you multiply 17 and 58, you'll get a 3-digit number. So multiply 17 with the successor of 58. Multiply 17 with the successor of 58, that is 59. Multiply, you should get 1003. You should get 1000. That is one way. Otherwise, what you can do is, what is 17 minus 14? 3. Add that to 1000, 1003. Anyways, you can do. 17 minus 14, 3. Add that to 1000, 1003. So let me do the division again. I said because it's 4-digit, take 1000 and 9999. Divide. 17 5s are 85, 15, 17 8s are 136, 14 is a remainder. Method 1 is 17 minus 14, 3. 1000 plus 3, 1003. This is the first 4-digit number divisible by 17. This method is not applicable only for 17. Anything. If you have to generate for a question like this, if you have to generate the AP, this is the method. Or what you can do is to get 1003, 17 into 59. 17 into 59. If you do 17 into 58, you'll get a 3-digit number. 17 into 59. This is the first 4-digit number divisible by 17. So this is how you find the first number. Once you find the first number, add 17 to that to get the second number. Add 17 to that to get the third number. Keep adding 17 because multiples of 17, right? So how will you get the second number? Add 17. Keep adding 17 to get the next numbers. Now to find the last number, again divide by 17. Okay, so 17 5s are 85. 14, 9 comes down. So I think 8s are correct. 8s are 136 and 13 is the remainder. 9 comes down. Again 8s are 136. 3 is the remainder. 3 is the remainder. So here what you should do, you should directly subtract the remainder. That is 99999 minus 3, which is 9996. Subtract the remainder. Subtract the remainder or multiply these two numbers as it is. As it is. 17 into 588. 17 into 588. Subtract the remainder straight away. 9999. That is 9999 minus 3. 9996. Otherwise, you multiply 17 and 588. Just come back, children. I have a bad throat. I'll just come back. Yes, children. Sorry, I think I took a long time. Yeah. Yes, children. I think, yeah, I finished my part. So you have to just generate the sequence of all 4-digit numbers divisible by 17 in using this method. You should find the first 4-digit number and the last 4-digit number divisible by 17. The numbers in the middle, you can just add 17 and generate them. Use the last number to find the number of terms of the AP. Is it clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now for the same thing, if you have to find the sum, the question can be how many 4-digit numbers? For that, this is the answer, 530 4-digit numbers. The question can also be find the sum of all the 4-digit numbers divisible by 17. Find the sum. Find the sum. So for that, you should work this one only. The same thing you should work. You should find n. You must do the same thing. You should find n. After finding n, you should find the sum. So there are 530 numbers. You must find S530. You must find S530. You should do this. To find the sum also, you should do the same thing. You must do the same thing. After this, sorry, 1 second. Yes, children. So for to find the sum, you must do the same thing. So then you should find S530. You must find S530. How will you find S530? N by 2 of the first term plus the last term. Just one more step you have to do. That's all. S530 is equal to N by 2, 530 by 2 of the first term, 1003, plus the last term, 9996. That's all. This extra step you have to do. That's all. If the question is, find the sum of all the 4-digit numbers divisible by 17. You must do the same thing. After finding n, you must find S530 because there are 530 numbers. S530 is equal to n by 2, 530 by 2 of the first term, 1003, plus the last term, 9996. That's all. This is the answer. You can use the other formula also, n by 2 of 2a plus n minus 1 into d. That also you can use. Same thing you will get. But here, since you know the first term and the last term, you know a1 and a530. You know the first term. Since you know a1 and a530, you can use this formula, n by 2 of the first term plus the last term. Have you taken a screenshot, children?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Yeah. Find the missing terms of the AP. Find the missing terms of the AP. So here we know 1 by 10 and 3 by 20. 1 by 10 is the third term of the AP because you can see 1, 2, 3 and 3 by 20 is the sixth term. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth term of the AP. 1 by 10 is the third term. A3 is equal to 1 by 10. A6 is equal to 3 by 20. A3 is equal to 1 by 10, meaning A plus 2D is equal to 1 by 10. Because what is A3? A plus 3 minus 1 into D. A3 means A plus 3 minus 1. AN means A plus N minus 1 into D. So A3 is A plus 3 minus 1 into D. That is A plus 2D. So A plus 2D is equal to 1 by 10. So this is one equation. And then A plus 5D. A6 is A plus 5D is equal to 3 by 20. This is another equation. Solve these two equations. Find the values of A and D. See, you have two equations in A and D. Solve and find the values of A and D. And once you get the values of A and D, you can fill the missing terms. You can find the missing terms. What are the missing terms? A1, you should find A1, A2, this is A3, A4, and A5. Okay. So you know, how do you find A2, A plus D? How do you find A4, A plus 3D? How do you find A5, A plus 4D? Take a screenshot. Done, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. The 17th term of an AP is 5 more than twice its 8th term. If the 11th term of the AP is 43, find the AP. To find the AP, you just need to find A and D. If I tell you that the first term of the AP is 5 and the common difference is 8, so you can generate the AP. The first term is 5. Since the common difference is 8, 5 plus 8, 13, 13 plus 8, 21, 21 plus 8, 29. So you can generate the AP. So to find the AP, you just need the first term and the common difference. Okay, now let's understand this. The 17th term of an AP, the 17th term of an AP is means equal to 5 more than twice its 8th term, twice its 8th term. See here, once again. The 17th term of an AP, A17. The 17th term of an AP is means equal to 5 more than, meaning plus 5. Twice its 8th term. So twice meaning 2 times. It's 8th term. So see here. 17th term is means equal to 5 more than. So 5 more than twice its 8th term. 2 times A8. That's all. If the 11th term of the AP is 43, 11th term A11 is 43. A11 is 43. So that means A plus 10D is 43. So we got one equation from this. Work this one. A17. So that means A plus 16D is equal to 2 into A8, A plus 7D plus 5. So you will get another equation from this. You will get another equation from this. Solve these two equations and find the values of A and D. Once you know A and D, you can find the AP. See here. The 17th term is 5 more than 2 times the 8th term. Yeah. Take a screenshot. Done, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So two APs have the same common difference. So two APs, they have the same common difference. So say AP1 and AP2, they have the same common difference. So let's say D. The difference between their 100th terms is 100. So they have the same common difference, but their first terms are different. So maybe the first term here is A and the first term here is A. We'll just differentiate it. You cannot use the same letter. They have the same common difference. One second. My throat is troubling me so much. Yeah. So AP1, AP2, all right. The common difference is the same. So D. First terms are different. You will say nothing is given. If nothing is given, that means they are different. If that is also the same, then how will they be two different APs? If they have the same first term and the same common difference, then they'll be the same AP, right? How can they be different? So obviously the first terms are different because the common difference is the same. The first terms have to be different. So if this is A, any letter you can use. So capital A here. Okay, so two APs have the same common difference. The difference between their 100th terms is 100. How do you represent this? The difference between their 100th terms. So here the 100th term will be like this. Here the 100th term will be like this. 100th, we'll represent it like this. This is the 100th term, here this is the 100th term. The difference between their 100th terms is 100. So A100 minus A100 is equal to 100. The difference between their 100th terms, A100 minus A100 is 100. What is the difference between their 1000th terms? So you should find this one. You must find this one. What is the difference between their 1000th terms? And also their nth terms. What is the difference between their nth terms? This also you should find. So what is given to us? Sometimes it's more important to understand the information. If that is not clear, the answer will definitely not, meaning you cannot be clear with the answer if you don't understand the question. So we have two APs, so we call them AP1 and AP2. They have the same common difference, so D. Obviously, the first terms have to be different. Otherwise, if the first terms are also the same, it will be the same AP. So like this. The 100th term. The difference between their 100th term. See, you can take it like this also, children, because it's not specific. You can also take it like this. Is 100. The difference between their 100th terms. This is given. This is given. You must find the difference between their 1000th terms. You must find this. And you should also find the difference between their nth terms. You should also find this. Is this understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now the working will be easy for you. Okay, I've called it A and B, children. Now don't ask me, see, I just explain like this, but I've used A and B here. So you can see here AP1, AP2. First term is A, B. A here and B here. So I've taken A plus D, B plus D. A plus 2D, B plus 2D. Correct? A plus n minus 1 into D, B plus n minus 1 into D. Till their nth terms. N you should not say capital N and small n because it's nth term will be the same thing, nth term. Is this part understood? The first part? Is this understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now the difference between their 100th terms is 100. So that means A100 minus B100 because A100 minus B100. Understand why? Is equal to 100, correct? Okay, now what is A100? A plus 99D. What is B100? B plus 99D is 100. So when you open the bracket and you work it, you get A minus B is 100. So this is the information. A minus B is 100. That is the difference between their first terms is 100. So I was telling you that when you work this, you get A minus B is equal to 100. Now, this is the information we get using this. The difference between their 100th terms is 100. On working this, you get A minus B is 100. How do we understand this? The difference between their first terms is 100. The difference between their first terms is 100. A minus B is 100. Okay, now let's move on to find or answer the questions. What is the difference between their 1000th terms? So difference between their 1000th terms, we are finding the difference between their 1000th terms. That is A 1000 minus B 1000. We're finding, we don't know, we're finding. So what is A 1000? A plus 999D. This one is B plus 999D. So open the bracket and you get A minus B. A minus B, but A minus B is 100. So that means the difference between their 1000th terms is 100. How 100? Because A minus B is 100. See, what did we get? Difference between their 1000th terms, what did we get is A minus B. But we know that A minus B is 100. So that means the difference between their 1000th terms is 100 from 1. This one is 1. Now we need to find next. We answered one question. Then the second question is what is the difference between their nth terms? So difference between their nth terms is an minus bn. Difference between their nth terms is an minus bn. So an means a plus n minus 1 into d and bn is b plus n minus 1 into d. Open the bracket. Open the bracket. So it looks like this. Plus n minus 1 into d minus n minus 1 into d cancels. So a minus b. So this also you're getting difference between their nth terms is also a minus b. But what is a minus b? 100. So that means the difference between their nth terms is also 100 from 1. Isn't it simple, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, take a picture, children. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, any questions? Please ask me.
No, ma'am.
No. All right. This is easy, children. Take a picture. I think the working itself you will understand. Take a picture. You can help yourself. The nth term of the first AP will be a plus n minus 1 into d. A plus n minus 1 into d. The nth term of the second AP also will be a plus n minus 1 into d. But a and d are different. Nth term of the first AP, a plus n minus 1 into d. Nth term of the second AP, a plus n minus 1 into d. It's given that they are the same. The nth term of this AP is the same as the nth term of this AP. The nth term of this AP is the same as the nth term of this AP. So this is the nth term of the first AP. This is the nth term of the second AP. They're equal. It's given they're equal. So this one is equal to this one. They're equal. The two are equal. When you solve that, you get n is equal to 7. So the value of n is 7. Took a picture, children? Yes. Yeah. If the ninth term of an AP is 0, prove that its 29th term is double the 19th term. If the ninth term is 0, so see here, we'll just work with what is given. The ninth term is 0. That means ninth term is 0 like this. That means a plus 8d is 0. Okay. Now with this information, we'll have to prove that. To prove that this is given, we have to prove that the 29th term is double the 19th term. This is what we'll have to prove. We'll have to prove that A29 and twice A19, they're the same. We know that A9 is 0. That is A plus 8D is 0. So from this, you can also write A is equal to minus 8D. From this, you also get A is equal to minus 8D. Now take up the LHS. A29. What is A29? A plus 28D. What is A plus 28D? What is A minus 8D? So you can substitute. No, A is minus 8D. So minus 8D plus 28D. So that is nothing but 20D. Now take the RHS. What is the RHS? 2 times A19. So that means 2 into A plus 18D. So that is 2 into what is A minus 8D? Minus 8D plus 18D. So 2 times 10D, which is 20D. So you're getting the same. LHS is 20D. RHS is also 20D. So that means A29 is equal to 2 times A19. Okay, I've done this in a different way, children. You can take a screenshot. Take a picture of this. I'll explain that also. I'll tell you what I've done there. You understood this one, right? All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll have to prove something. So I've taken the LHS, RHS, and both are equal to 20D. So that means A29 is equal to 2 times A19. So here what I've done is, since we know that A plus 8D is 0, we know that A plus 8D is 0, right? So we get A29. We need to prove this. So take up A29, A plus 28D. I'm writing this 28D as 8D and 20D because we have 8D here, no? So I'm writing 28 as 8 plus 20. 28D, I'm splitting it as 8D and 20D. So now A plus 8D is 0. 0 plus 20D, which is 20D. What we got here only. We got the same thing here. Similarly, 2 times A19 is this one. I'm writing this 18. I'm writing this 18 as 8D, 18D as 8D plus 10D. Now this A plus 8D is nothing but 0. A plus 8D is 0. So 20D. All right, children. Is it fine, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, this is similar. So please help yourself. If 10 times the 10th term is equal to 15 times the 15th term, that's given to you. Show that the 25th term is 0. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, this is also similar. Take a picture.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, next one. How many terms of the AP must be added to get some 0? How many terms must be added to get some 0? So that means the sum of the first n terms is 0. The sum of the first n terms is 0. We don't know how many terms to take. How do we know? How many terms to take to get the sum 0? So if you know, you can say the sum of the first 10 terms is 0. But we don't know. So sum of how many terms, first n terms is 0. That's the equation. That's all. Once you write this, you can find n. That's all it is. It's all about writing this. If you can write this, that's it. You can get the answer. If they ask you which term of the AP is 0, you must write an is equal to 0. Which term of the AP is 0? Or is 0 a term of the AP? For that, you should work an is equal to 0. How many terms must be taken to get sum 0? How many terms? I don't know. So sum of the first n terms should give you the sum as 0. So Sn is equal to 0. That's all. If you write this, you've got the answer. You just have to work with that equation. See here. Sn is equal to 0. What is Sn? N by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d is 0. Then substitute. You get a quadratic equation in n. And you get n is 0 or n is, see, I'm not rushing. I'm just saying that this is the condition. The Sn formula is this one is equal to 0. You know a and d. So substitute a and d. Sorry, this is not a. This is a and this is d. Substitute. You don't know n. So, and then when you work, you get a quadratic equation in n. You get a quadratic equation in n. And you get two values for n, 0 and 43. How can n be 0? The sum of the first 0 terms. Yeah, if you don't take any terms, then the sum will be 0 only. You don't take any term at all, then the sum has to be 0. So n is 0. This is not sensible. N is 0 is not sensible. So n has to be 43. So the sum of the first 43 terms of the AP must be taken to get sum 0. That means that's 43 is equal to 0. Simple or not, children?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm forcing you to say that. Okay. It is simple. I'm sure for all your aptitudes, it is very simple. Shall we go to the next one?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now here, how many terms of the AP must be taken to get sum 544? You want to get the sum as 544. Okay, so what should be the sum? Sum is 544. Of how many terms? I don't know. Sum of n terms must be 544. That's all. If you can write this, you know how to work this. See, it's all there. AP is given. How many terms of the AP must be taken so that the sum is 544? 544 is not a term of the AP. AN is not 544. AN is not 544. AN means a term of the AP is 544. AN will mean some particular term of the AP is 544. No, 544 is not a term of the AP. The sum of first, how many terms we don't know, is 544. So Sn is equal to 544. If you can write that, that's it. Formula n by 2 of 2a plus n minus 1 into d is equal to 544. Substitute, you don't know n. A and D, you know, because you know the AP. Substitute quadratic equation, you'll get two values for n. Sometimes, you know, you will be able to, you will have to accept both the values for n. Supposing you get n is equal to 18 or n is equal to 25. Now you cannot say 25 is bigger, so I'll go with 25. Or you cannot say, no, 18 is small, so I'll go with 18. No, both are acceptable. Sum of 18 terms can be 544. You see, you don't know, you have not added. Or sum of 25 terms also can be 544. See, in the earlier case, we said n cannot be 0. N cannot be 0 because, you know, n cannot be 0. So very logical. So we said n is 43. Okay. But supposing you work and you get now when you work this, you know, Sn is equal to 544. So you know how to work this. Sn means n by 2 of 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay, is equal to 544. And you know the values of a and d. So you'll get a quadratic equation in n and you'll get two values for n. Supposing you get n is equal to 18 or n is equal to 25. Okay, now you have to go with both the values. So n can be 18, n can be 25. Which means S18 is equal to 544 or S25 is equal to 544. Yeah, both. You don't have a reason to reject anything. Okay, so if S18 is 544, what does that mean? A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus so on like this till A16 plus A17 plus A18 is equal to 544. This is the meaning. This is the meaning. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Class, use the emoji. Raise your hand. Lower your hands and then raise your hand again. All of you lower your hands first. Kanishka, all of you lower your hands. Yeah. Now class, raise your hand. Kanishka, Ramnathan, Tarun Murali, Sashmin, Rajarajeshwari, Deepika, Harini and Sneha. Very good. All right, children. So S18 is equal to 544, which means A1 plus A2 plus A3. So goes on like that. Plus A16 plus A17 plus A18. The sum of the first 18 terms is 544. Okay. What is meant by S25 is equal to 544. A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus goes on like this plus A16 plus A17 plus A18. It still continues plus goes on like this plus A19. And then what will happen? A24 plus A25 is equal to 544. Okay, this is the meaning. Yes or no, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. A1 plus A2 plus A3. So you will go past A18 plus A16 plus A17 plus A18 plus A19, 20, 21, 22 till 25. The sum of the first 25 terms is 544. Okay. How is this possible? When you add more numbers, either the sum should, now this is a decreasing AP. So sum probably should decrease. How are you getting the same sum? That's because, see here, the sum from here to here is 544. A1 to A18, see here, from the first term to the 18th term, the sum is 544. And then when you consider these terms also, the sum is still 544 because the sum of these terms is 0. The sum of these terms is 0. Now you will ask me, how can the sum be 0? That's because this is a decreasing AP, 64, 60, 56, 52. The numbers, the values are going on reducing. So after a certain point, you will get negative numbers. You will get negative numbers. So if the numbers are like this, you know, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1. Oh, sorry. I should have written the other way. Supposing you have the numbers like this, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, -2, -3. Now, what is the sum? What is the sum, children? What is the sum of all these terms? What is the sum of all these terms? What is the sum of all these terms?
0, ma'am.
No. What am I asking? That's what I knew I was not clear. Say I'm writing 3, 2, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. What is the sum? What is the sum?
Till -2, ma'am.
Yeah, till -2. Yeah.
3, ma'am.
3. What is the sum of all the numbers here?
Till -3, ma'am.
Yeah, all the numbers. Yeah.
It's 0, ma'am.
0. But does it mean that the terms are 0 everywhere? No. The terms are different, but the sum is 0. The terms are not 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. No, no. The terms have some value, but the sum of these terms is 0. So it's possible, right, to get some 0. So when you have some positive values and their negatives, if you have positive values and their negatives, so they will, cancel out with one another and the sum will be 0. The terms are not 0. It's not 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. No. The terms have some value, but since you have some positive values and their, negatives, the sum becomes 0. It need not always be like that. When you have some negative and positive values, the sum can be 0. The sum can be 0. So this means the sum from the 19th term to the 25th term is 0. Listen carefully. A1 to A18, the sum is 544. A1 to A25 also the sum is 544. The reason is because from A1 to A18, the sum is 544. The sum of the rest of the terms from A19 to A25. S25 is also 544 because the sum of the terms from the 19th to the 25th is 0. That's why 544 plus 0 is 544. See here, 544 plus 0 is 544. It's possible. 544 plus 0 is 544. Who's 0? The sum of the terms from the 19th to the 25th. The sum of all the terms from the 19th to the 25th is 0. The sum is 0. So 544 plus 0 is 544. That's why the double answer is possible. Explain the double answer. This is the explanation for the double answer. You should write this. This is the reason for the double answer. To see the actual answer here. So Sn is 544. Work that. You get two values for n, 17 and 16. Okay, so here you're getting consecutive numbers. Let me explain that also. This you understood, children? This is the next one. This is in this one. Explain the double answer. Did you understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, sometimes you will get consecutive numbers. Here n is 18, n is 25. They're not consecutive. The numbers are not consecutive. 18 and then 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 18 and 25 are not consecutive numbers. For that, this is the explanation. Supposing you get n is Supposing you get n is 17 or n is 18, you get consecutive numbers like this. So that means S17 is 0 or whatever is the sum. 1 minute, 1 minute. For the same situation, for 544, supposing you get SY17 again, supposing you get S11 is 544. You get n is 11 or n is 12, n is 12. So which means S11 is 544 or S12 is 544. How can both be 544? So S11 means A1 plus A2 plus A3 till A11. The sum is 544. S12 means A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A11 plus A12 is equal to 544. S12 means till the 12th term is 544. But we know that the sum from here to here till A11 is 544. then plus this one is also 544. That means the 12th term is 0. That means the 12th term, that 12th term is 0. The value of the term is 0. That's why you're getting the same sum. Like for example, you have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is the sum? What is the sum?
$15.
15. Now what is the sum?
15.
15. Why? See, this is A1, this is A2, this is A3, this is A4, this is A5. Okay, S5 is 15. That's what you all said. When you add the first 5 terms, the sum is 15. S5 is 15. Now I've included one more number. And now I asked you to find the sum of the first 6 numbers. First 6 numbers. You're saying 15 again. How can you get the same sum? That's because the 6th term is 0. From here to here, the sum is 15. And since the 6th term is 0, S6 is also 15. Is that understood?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
You can take a screenshot of this one. Okay, so here you get n is 17, n is 16. N is 16, n is 17. Now you cannot reject. Both are fine. 17, 16, both are fine. Nothing wrong. Both are fine. So when n is 16, it means S16 is 544. And when n is 17, it means S17 is 544. So you can see the representation, children. You will understand. You can ask me if you have a question. So till here is 544. This one is 0. Plus 0 is 544. So the double answer for n is because A17 is 0. This is the reason. This one is 0. A17 is 0. That's why 544 plus 0 is 544. So when the values of n are consecutive, n16, n17. So that means the 17th term will be 0. First 16 terms, the sum is 544. First 17 terms also the sum is 544. That's because the 17th term is 0. Is that fine?
Yes, ma'am.
So explain the double answer. This is what you should write. This working you must show. This is explaining the double answer. This one is explaining the double answer. Yeah, take a screenshot, children. This is when the numbers are not consecutive. These are the only 2 situations possible. These are the only 2 situations possible. Either the numbers n is consecutive or not consecutive. If they're not consecutive, see here you're getting n is 25, n is 36. They're not consecutive. So this is the reason. You can see here, I've explained here. That's because the sum from here to here is 0. This sum is 0. From here to here is 300 plus 0 is 300. This is because the sum from here to here is 0. Take a screenshot, children. All right. Yeah, these are simple. I'll just check how many more questions I have. Okay, we'll just finish this. Yeah, we were here. I took a picture, children, all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now here you will get two equations again. You'll have to solve and find the the sum of the first n terms. See, it's given the sum of the first 7 terms. The sum of the first 7 terms. That means S7 is 49. And the sum of its first 17 terms. The sum of the first 17 terms is 289. So that means n by 2, 7 by 2. Formula n by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Use a formula, you will get two equations in a and d. Solve and find the values of a and d. And then find Sn. Simple, see here. S7 is given, and then S17 is given. So use the formula n by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d. You don't know a and d. You only know n is 7. You only know n is 7. You don't know the AP at all. So you don't know a and d. So you will get one equation in a and d. Again, you will get another equation in a and d. Solve the two equations. Solve the two equations and find the values of a and d. And once you find the values of a and d, you should find Sn. You must find Sn. So how do you find Sn? N will be n only. N is n. Substitute the values of a and d which you found, a and d. So you get Sn is equal to n square. We have understood that Sn is quadratic. Sn will be quadratic in n. And you can see here it's quadratic, n square. Sn is equal to n square. Sn is equal to n square. It's quadratic in n. So you have two conditions. S7, sum of the first 7 terms is 49. Sum of the first 17 terms is 289. So that will give you two equations in A and D. Because you don't know the arithmetic progression, you don't know the values of A and D. But you know N. N is 17, N is 7, N is 17. So obviously you will get two equations in A and D. Solve the two equations. Find the values of A and D. And then find Sn. To find Sn, n will be n only. You should substitute the value of a and d. Sn is n square. Take a picture. Yeah, it's the same thing, children. This is so that there the sum was given. Here, read the question carefully. Here, the ninth term of an AP is 449. The ninth term is 449. And its 449th term is 9. The 449th term is 9. Be careful in reading. The ninth term is 449 and the 449th term is 9. So you'll get two equations again. You know n is 9, n is 449. But you don't know a and d because you don't know the AP. So you don't know a and d. So again you'll get two equations in a and d. Because the three unknowns are a, n and d. You should have been attending the classes regularly, children. Only then you can follow what I'm saying. We have spoken like this. So you should know the values of a, n and d. But here you know n, but you don't know a and d because you don't know the AP at all. So you'll get two equations in a and d. Solve and find the values of a and d. See here. So you get two a9. So a plus n minus 1 into d. You get two equations. Solve the two equations and find the values of a and d. We got it. Then find the AP. Once you find the values of a and d, you can find the AP. And then the question is find the AP and find a zero term of this AP. That means we should check if an can be 0. A term of the AP is 0, a term of the AP. So can an be 0? So when you work that an is equal to 0, a plus n minus 1 into d is 0. The value of n is 458. Yeah, 458 is fine. So that means 0 is the 458th term of the AP. N is equal to 458. The 458th term of the AP is 0. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, this also you can understand. So please take a screenshot and finish this. Take a picture. Done, children?
Yes, ma'am.
See, is the Teams window blocking any part of the presentation? I don't know if you all can see the Teams window. What can you see on your screen? Only the presentation, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
The Teams window is not hiding any part of the working, right?
No, ma'am. It's not right.
Okay, fine. No, because for me, I have to keep moving the window. Okay, fine. All right, children. All right, children. So that was it for today's session. Please complete your work. Please complete. I've tried my level best to make it very, very simple. I hope it is really simple for all of you. There is nothing to revise in arithmetic progressions. It's very simple, meaning for your age and for the, the other concepts which are far more, which need far more practice to remember. This is a very simple chapter. Simply formula calculation. It's just number work. So now when you work it, work it so well that you don't have to revise this at all. See, you should do that. Every time for an exam, if you have to revise and only then be able to score good marks, it becomes difficult. Some simple chapters, when you work it once, you must register it so clearly that you don't have to revise it at all. So that you can do with arithmetic progressions. There are a few other chapters like this, which you really don't need to revise. You just have to remember the formulae and learn to understand the question. You must learn to understand the question. Once in arithmetic progressions, if you understand the question, the answer is almost 90% done. You should just be careful while calculating, while solving. Believe me, it's true. I'm not talking from a teacher point of view. I'm talking from students' point of view. Because I don't know if all of you know, I am not a qualified teacher at all. I have just completed my BCom. I'm not at all a certified, I am not a qualified teacher. I don't have a maths background at all. My background is not maths. I have just finished my BCom and I started to teach out of passion. I just realized that, I enjoyed teaching. I used to help my cousins. I'm the eldest among the cousins, so I just I was raised in a joint family, so I had my younger cousins at home, so I got to teach them. So that's when I realized that I had this great passion to teach. So like that, I don't know why I chose mathematics. Among all the subjects, I don't know why I chose maths, but I chose maths. And I realized that, I never felt bored. Any time of the day, this was a very interesting work for me. So like that, I just started to teach and I upgraded myself. I was teaching till 6th and then I upgraded to 7th, then 8th, then 9th, then 10th. So slowly, so I have learned like you. It's not that I have a big degree and, I know everything like that itself. No, I didn't know anything. And when I realized that I had this passion to teach, I didn't want to study ahead also because I knew I'm not going to take up a job. I didn't want to work. I had decided that I'm not, and I didn't want to be career oriented. I wanted to be a homemaker. So that I had decided. So I understood my personality. So, and I was happy that at least I had some passion. other than taking up a job. So like that, I started to teach. It's a long journey. I can't suddenly start teaching 10th standard students with a BCom degree. See, you should realize that as you keep studying, you forget what you study. Now, even when you people come out of, you finish your degree, definitely you cannot solve if I give you a question from 10th standard syllabus, you cannot solve it as easily as you would solve it now, being in 10th standard. You might know, but you will take some time to solve. It's not that if you have an MTech degree, 10th standard maths is very easy for you. You may understand, but to solve it is a different thing. You would have forgotten the formula, the concepts. So you cannot solve it. I'm sure you cannot solve it. Okay, maybe 10th you can solve, 12th you cannot solve. So you have to learn again from the beginning. Even if you have an MTech degree, to be a teacher, you'll have to again start learning. So I started learning. I got books from the market. I started learning. I first taught only up to 6th and 7th, then it slowly it is a long journey. So since I've been a student myself, I realized that some chapters are really easy meaning once you understand, it's easy to remember them as compared to other chapters, which you keep forgetting. You practice it, you forget, you need to do it again and again. Some third or fourth time only it becomes very clear. And from then on, you can, remember for good. Certain chapters were very easy, like when I used to practice, it was very easy. Once you read it and then just a formula you have to remember. So as a student, I've gone through this. Meaning being a teacher as a student while practicing, I've gone through this. So I can very confidently say that you should make some chapters very easy, which you should not be revising every time. The first time you're working it, so as I was telling you, everything lies in understanding the question. Read the question, read and understand the question clearly. If you understand the question, the answer is, we say half done, but actually in AP it's not half done, it's 90% done. Then only if you go wrong, careless mistakes, calculation error, you will go wrong. So like that, make AP, and I'll tell you the other chapters also, which are just easy like that. So about 50% of your syllabus is easy. You don't have to revise. The remaining 50%, yeah, you need to practice, like similar triangles. For most of us, similar triangles, quite difficult to remember. Easy to understand, difficult to remember. That's what it is. Easy to understand, easy to remember. That is some chapters. Easy to understand, but difficult to remember some others. So you should have some portions like that. Out of 15 chapters, some 7 chapters should be easy. Then for the board exam, you can concentrate on the 8 chapters. So that effort, you take it now. Don't, like work all these sums. Don't just copy and finish it. Take time, understand every question, understand the answer, and then work it. Believe me, you don't have to revise this chapter at all. Please submit your work by tomorrow, children. You're all in your vacations now, Puja holidays. So please, all of you submit your work by tomorrow. Last homework was submitted only by Ramnathan, Ananya, Harini and Sneha. Tarun not complete, Nandini also not complete. Submitted but incomplete. Ram, Harini, Sneha and Ananya complete work. So this time let me see how many of you complete your work. Please do it. All right, children. So that's it for today's session. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night. Good night. Thank you, children. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Good night.